The first mistake is choosing the wrong rug. A lot of times, the tendency is to fall in love with a rug and then try and fit that into the room that you're trying to decorate. And that can be a mistake at times because, for example, if you fell in love with a beautiful bamboo silk or artificial silk or a silk rug, and you need it for your family room where you have three children, two grandchildren, two dogs, well, that may not be the best rug for that room or for your kitchen. If you have a very high use area or an area where you may have a lot of spills, you may be better off with a wool rug than with a pure silk or artificial silk rug. So just certain things like that would really help in choosing the right rug for your home. So it will go beyond just the size and the color and the style. Now, talking about size, that's the next thing that you should be aware of. It is not just the number one thing with the size is that it's not just the linear area, it's also the volume. So if you're doing a room that has low ceilings and it's a living room, and you may be able to get away with a smaller 6x9, but the same exact setting, the same exact furnishings, if they are in a very high ceiling room, that is, you're pretty much decorating the room for its volume, not just its linear footage. So you may need an 8x10 or a 9x12 if it is a much larger room, even with the same furnishings, the same settings. And another very major mistake is that majority of the time people assume that they must choose the rug last. I've literally, in 36 years that I've done this, have had clients come in and say, well, I can't choose the rug right now because I haven't chosen everything else. Now, if you already have all the other furnishings, if you already have the drapes and artwork and whatever, then fine, then the rug needs to work with everything else. But if you're starting from scratch, then I promise you, I assure you, it'll be 100 times easier for you to choose the rug first and then choose the other things off of the rug. Imagine the number of color choices. There are probably thousands of them for the paint on the wall. Imagine the number of fabric books. There's thousands of choices of fabric and colors and styles and fabrics for draperies, for upholstery, and same thing with leather. So if you start with the rug and let the rug set the color palette and the style for your home, and then choose everything off of the rug, you'd be much better off if you have that choice. One of the biggest mistakes when you're buying rugs is to fall for the gimmicks that so many rug stores have, is that if you buy a rug today, we'll give you 80% off, or things like that, or it's a going out of business sale and you'll get a deal like never before and things like that. Don't fall for such gimmicks. Most drugstores, whatever that they can do for you, if they are honest and decent operation business, they will do what they can do for you almost any day. So buy a rug when you are ready, from a place that you are comfortable with, and not for the sake of gimmicks, and never for the sake of a liquidation or a going out of business sale or a quick bidding on an auction. Don't do that. Take your time, deal with somebody you trust, deal with somebody that you get the feeling of honesty and integrity and that have been there a while, that have commitment to their inventory, that are treating their staff well, and then let them do what they need to do to earn your business when you're ready, rather than them pushing you and making a quick, fast decision of when they're trying to sell you on a rug. And also make sure you buy it from a source where you can go back. No matter how much information you develop about rugs, you'll be taking the opinion of the person, the business selling you the rug on majority of the things. So make sure you buy it from a reputable dealer where you can go back if you have a problem. So going out of business, auctions, liquidations are not the place to buy them. The wrong quality of a rug is another thing you truly need to be aware of and to be vigilant about. Used to be very easy in our parents' time and our grandparents' time, where rugs were either handmade or machine made. And within handmade rug, then rugs you needed to worry about the knots. That's not the case anymore. They've come up with very quick ways to make handmade rugs that are legally called handmade, but are not the real hand knotted rugs anymore. One of the biggest ones in this category are hand tufted rugs. The hand tufted rugs are made by taking a canvas type material and drawing the design that they're going to make on the rug, and using a gun type of instrument and shooting wool of different colors through that canvas type material. And then to hold it there, because no knots are tied, they apply a product called latex, which is a toxic glue, and then cover it with a cloth or canvas. From the front, those rugs look like very high-end hand knotted rugs, but they really are not. They're glued on the back. So the first time you spill a glass of iced tea or a glass of wine, that rug is going to start to come apart, and that glue is going to stink. Also, if you have a very high humid environment, you're going to have that glue smell really bad for you. And then if you have a very dry environment like we do here in this beautiful Arizona, then the glue is going to dry up, and you may have had rugs that you have or friends or family have that have a lot of powder under them. That's that glue drying up. The dust, the lint from the rugs is okay, but that white powder is that glue drying up, and by the time it's drying up to where you see that powder, it's filling up the air with toxic material. I've had clients that have had respiratory problems that have gone away once they got rid of a tufted or a bad rug like that. So whatever that you do, make sure that it's a hand woven flat weave or hand knotted rug or hand loomed rug, but not a glued rug, which are tufted. In my humble opinion, those are not the right rugs for you to have. So be aware of what quality that you're getting, and then within that, you also have to make sure that just because a rug is hand knotted is not a guarantee that it's gonna last and it's the right thing for you. If a rug is hand knotted and it's made with dead wool or low grade materials, or it's chemically washed to artificially make it look better than it really is, it's not gonna last for you. So once again, no matter how much knowledge you develop, be not only aware of what type of rug that you're getting, but buy it from the right source where you can go back if you have a problem and anything goes wrong with the rug. You will really know what quality of the rug that you have is when after you get it cleaned the first time, or after you have a spill and you try and clean it, because a lot of rugs that are artificially washed to chemically washed to make them look better than they are, when you get them cleaned, that wash goes away. So again, it'll be a few years before you really know what quality rug that you have. So buy it from a source that you can go back to. Now, on a decorating note, one of the mistakes is to think that you must have the same theme throughout the house. Now, you can if you want to, but a more interesting way is to try and divert your decor in certain areas where you can do that. Now, what I mean by that is that let's say that you have an entryway and a living room and a dining room that are all visible from each other while you're standing in one of these areas, that other areas are visible. Then for them to coordinate with each other, and I definitely don't mean having the same rugs in 2 or 3 areas, but for these areas to have rugs that are beautiful and wonderful and different, but yet complementing and coordinating in their style and in their colors and design, that makes a lot of sense. So having the same theme in these areas that are visible from each other makes a lot of sense. But then it may be more interesting to have an entirely different thing in an office or a study, because it's a very separate room, or in a casita or a guest house, or in the bedroom. So you may have beautiful, magnificent, gorgeous, contemporary rugs in your living room and dining room and entry, and have something that is very traditional, a tribal haris in your office, or vice versa. You could have traditional decor or tribal decor in your main areas and have some beautiful contemporary rugs in your bedrooms, just to get a different feel from one room to another. Thank you very much.